Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we're going to be taking a look at Captain Cassian Andor from the Star Wars Black Series. This guy is pretty cool, but before we take a closer look at him, let's go ahead and take a look at his packaging. Here it is. It's got a nice window to see the figure. Down here it's got a picture of the character. On the sides, nothing really. And then on the back it's got a picture of the character again, and then a brief description. If you'd like to read that, go ahead and just pause the video. All right, and we've seen these Black Series boxes 1,000 times, so let's go ahead and look at the figure itself. So he stands here at about 5 3/4 inches tall without his helmet, and then with his helmet on, let's see, makes him 6 inches tall. So without his helmet on, he is kind of a shorter character, or a shorter figure, that is. I'm not sure if that's accurate to the character or not. I'm imagining it probably is. Either way, it's not a huge difference in size, so even if he is, sort of a taller character, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Like I showed before, he does have a removable helmet here, and it's got plenty of detail on it and a ton of paint work. And then this scarf is pretty soft, so it's not going to get in the way of any posing or anything. And then he also comes with 2 guns. The first one here is this blaster, the Rebel 1. No paint work or anything on there. I wish they had painted the barrel here silver. It's not a huge deal because the sculpt work looks pretty good and it fits in his hands nicely. And then his other blaster here, his pistol, does actually have some paint work on it, which is nice. And then the sculpt work is pretty nice as well. And then this blaster here has a holster on his side, and if you pop out this little strap here, you can place the pistol in there and it fits really nicely. I'll go ahead and show you that. There we go. And then you can actually pop the little strap back in. And unlike a lot of these, it's pretty easy to get that little snap in there, which is really nice. And then obviously that's not going to fall out or anything because it's held in there nicely. And then this guy's articulation is pretty nice. One thing I will say is because he's wearing kind of this snow gear, it's he's a little bit bulkier. So sometimes I can't fault him for anything that's kind of limited in his articulation. But we'll go ahead and run through it here. So he's got a ball peg in the head and then a hinge in the neck, which gives him a nice range of motion. And then obviously the helmet's pretty soft, so you can get him in mostly the same poses. It does sort of limit its motion a little bit, but not too much there. He's got ball hinge shoulders that give him 90 degrees there, and then they do swivel 360. He's got hinged elbows, and they're kind of ugly just because he's wearing the big puffy coat, and there's not a whole lot you can do about this tan line here, because if you kind of either, I don't know, it's just there's not a ton that you could do. I guess they could have brought the paint up here a little bit more, but it's not a huge deal in my opinion. And he's got, and these do swivel, of course, and then he has a hinge in the wrist, and that also swivels. And it's the same on both sides, except in this hand, the hinge runs vertically. Then in the torso here, hidden behind the belt here, he's got a ball peg. It doesn't have the greatest range of motion, especially this direction because of this little pouch here. But in every other direction it works well, and I definitely think it'll work to get him into any poses you would want. He has T-jointed hips, which give him a decent range of motion. And his little the bottom half of his coat here is split on the sides, so it doesn't impede articulation too much, and then they do, of course, kick forward and back. Then there is a hidden thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Let's see, there we go. Which gives him a pretty good range. One thing I will say to watch out for is this piece above the knee here is pretty thin, and because his legs are so chunky, it gives you a lot to hold on to. So it's easy to kind of overextend the knee before this second joint kicks in, and it can be easy to split the plastic there at the back of his leg. So just kind of watch out for that. And then he's got hinged ankles and an ankle rocker. So Overall, a really nice figure. Obviously, some type of he's meant for some type of snowy planet. Obviously, we haven't seen the movie as well, so we don't know for sure. And I definitely recommend picking this figure up. I think the aesthetic is really cool. It's got a lot of cool accessories and everything's done very well. And then also, this is something that I was sort of thinking, he looks enough like a Hoth Rebel Trooper that I think that you could get away with displaying him in the background with your other Hoth characters. So that may be another reason to pick this guy up. So anyway, I definitely recommend this figure because he's pretty cool. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. And I guess I'll see you later.